corner of our Airbnb, and I am like super excited to talk to you guys today. My mind has been all over the place. So many things that I've been experiencing, so many things that I want to share. We're going to talk about the slow and intentional pace and the importance of that. But I want to share that I got to see my first northern lights here in Alaska. I actually saw them in Idaho one time, and they were white. Last night they were green. It was super, super cool. We've just had glorious days, beautiful, beautiful days. It was 3 degrees when I woke up this morning. It's now 2 degrees, might even be continuing to drop. That crisp cold is just really joyous. Low humidity, deep cold. It's actually a really beautiful thing. It's a dry cold, so it doesn't go through you and like chill you to the bones. It's just nice and crisp and cold. Good morning, Miss Shelley. Good morning, good morning. We are going to look at 2 parcels tomorrow, and super excited about that. I feel a lot like Abraham. It's kind of funny, and that's exactly where Papa has been taking me this morning in Romans 4. Romans 4:3, for the scriptures tell us Abraham believed God, and God counted him as righteous because of his faith. And then below that in 5, it says, but people are counted as righteous, not because of their works, but because of their faith in God who forgives sinners. I just thought I love how he speaks to me. Because yesterday he took me through Genesis, where he called Abraham to follow him, and Abraham followed him without even consideration. No, my nostrils have not frozen shut. However, my boogies have frozen. It definitely pays to make sure that you are blowing your nose. Yes, that's funny. That's very funny, Shelley. But Papa also took me to something else, and I just want to read this, and then I will continue on with what I have to say today. But this is in Romans 3, and it's Romans 3:21 through 31. I'll read the whole thing. But now God has shown us a way to be made right with him without keeping the requirements of the law, as was promised in the writings of Moses and the prophets long ago. We are made right with God by placing our faith in Jesus Christ. And this is true for everyone who believes, no matter who we are. That is such an amazing promise, guys. For everyone has sinned. We're all cracked vessels. We're all cracked pots. I've said that so many times. None of us, are perfect. We all fall short of God's glorious standard. Yet, God, in his grace, freely makes us right in his sight. He did this through Christ Jesus when he freed us from the penalty of our sins. For God presented Jesus as a sacrifice for sin. People are made right with God when they believe that Jesus Christ sacrificed his life, shedding his blood. This sacrifice shows that God was being fair when he held back and did not punish those who sinned in times past, for he was looking ahead and including them in what he would do in this present time. God did this to demonstrate his righteousness, for he himself is fair and just, and he makes sinners right in his sight when they believe in Jesus. Can we boast then that we've done anything to be accepted by God? No, because our acquittal is not based on obeying the law. It is based on faith. So we are made right with God through faith and not by obeying the law. After all, is God the God of the Jews only? Isn't he also the God of the Gentiles? Of course he is. There is only one God, and he makes people right with himself only by faith, whether they are Jews or Gentiles. Well then, if we emphasize faith, does this mean that we can forget about the law? Of course not. In fact, only when we have faith do we truly fulfill the law. I believe that because when we have complete, deep faith, in God, we desire to follow the law. We desire to do the best we can. And faith in God takes practice. It really does. I haven't always been able to just go where he's leading. But right now, that's 100% what we are doing. I am essentially homeless in Alaska. I am in an Airbnb, but I do not have my own home. I have no idea where he is taking us. Good morning, Miss Laura. I have no reservations, though. I have no reservations that where he is taking us is a good place, and there's purpose in it. And I want to share this with you guys too. You know, we all choose words for our year, right? And I'm very guilty of that. I do that, and I'm going to continue to do that because it gives me focus. My words for the last 2, maybe 3 years, possibly, has been obedience, and being intentional. Being intentional with my time, being intentional with what I'm doing. And the obedience part of things has served me so well. It has been beyond amazing, being obedient to what he has for me. And this year, I'm really focusing on being intentional, and I'm going to tell you why. We live in a world that is constantly dictating what we're supposed to do. Good morning, Miss Vicky. I've been in this land between, and I can attest that the Lord is there with you for certain. You know what? Whether we feel it or not, he's with us all the time. He's truly with us all the time. Sometimes we don't feel or see his presence because maybe we're distracted, or maybe he's just asking us to pull in deeper. But the world dictates a pace. The world dictates actions. Like, let me explain. As a business owner, as an integrative health practitioner, as an entrepreneur, and working with other people, everybody's trying to beat the algorithms. They are trying to one-up somebody that they feel is ahead of them. They're trying to beat the clock. And I just came off of beating the clock in such a hardcore way that I truly don't wish to keep racing that clock. My hat keeps sliding off. I got hat hair and I don't care. I want to be pulling in. Let me step back to the words we choose. So often for people, they're choosing joy, they're choosing prosperity, they're choosing maybe words of change. And that's all good, but you know where that all comes from? And the way we find all of that is by pulling into him. The more we pull into him, the more we are obedient to what he has for us, the more we will find the desires of our heart. I truly believe that. And if you know me at all, you know that I enjoy a slow pace. I didn't always. I was the type A, chasing everything. But through my healing journey, I've grown to love the slow pace, because in the slow, you see so much more. You feel so much more. You experience so much more. I am in a place right now of experiences. I want to experience it all. So funny story, just to give you an example. I was completely ready and like seconds away from climbing under the covers last night. when Austin came in and said, you know, he had taken the dog out and he knocked on our door and he said, the Northern Lights are out tonight. Well, it didn't take me but a few seconds to get dressed again and head outside to see that. I don't want to miss things. I want to be intentional with my time. I want to be in Papa's presence. And I know that from all of my experiences, that takes being slow and being intentional and pulling in. So I just want to remind you guys that whatever you feel is pulling on you today, if it's of this world, it's not going to bring you the desires of your heart. What will is pulling into him. And a lot of people don't understand what that looks like. But sometimes it's just being silent and just sitting. My soul desired stillness. And that's what I've been giving it, stillness. I go out to the river. The people here, the locals probably think I am bat crazy, and that's okay. I walked 2 blocks with a shovel in my hand and went down to the river and dug my way down to the river so that I had a walking trail to the river, because it was like, for me, being a Lilliputian, it was like up to my thighs, you know, without snowshoes. So I created a trail. And you know what? Last night when I went down to the trail, there were other tracks in the trail. So I've blessed somebody else with the opportunity to go down there and experience it, because it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. The sun just sparkles out across that frozen river. Denali and Mount McKinley. For those of you that don't understand that, Denali and Mount McKinley are one and the same. And it is just a beautiful mountain range. And it is different all times of day. Last night when we went down there for the sunset, it was pink. So I don't want to miss those moments. I don't want to miss the moments with my family in this season where we are allowing Papa to guide us. So, you know, I've always said this, and I've always beat to this drum, and that's what has always made me different, is that I don't try to follow what everybody else is doing to match the algorithms and to make sure I'm bringing in all the perfect clients. I believe God's bringing to me who needs me. I believe that God is bringing the right people. Vicki says, I'm so impressed that you can shovel that kind of snow. Well, initially it was really easy because it was like powder, like it was like cotton balls. It would be the equivalent, you know, and then we got rain on top of that. So it was a heavy snow. But my friends, this is what enables us to re-strengthen. Little by little, little becomes a lot. And my guys helped me shovel as well, because I asked them to join me because I thought it would do them good to be down at the river. I was perfectly okay shoveling the whole thing because I am one of those crazy people. I love shoveling. I have always loved shoveling. And I think that's because it's a form of exercise and it's enjoyment at the same time. But they didn't like that I was shoveling it all by myself. So they did graciously help me, and I'm grateful for that too, because it was a little heavier, especially with the fact that the snowplow had gone through and the very first 2 feet were like hard as rock. So we actually made stairs because you couldn't even shovel it. But take time. Whatever it looks like, wherever you are, whatever you've got going on, if you feel rattled, if you feel disheveled, if you feel overwhelmed, pause and just sit in the silence. I don't want to say fully get rid of your phone, because I listen to music off of my phone. I listen to podcasts. I listen to things that nurture me as well. Good morning, good morning. But I also know when I need to walk completely away from it. So, you know, if the music nurtures you, just sit in the music. but there is something about the silence. Truly, our bodies, our minds, our spirits need that silence. I know that's what I needed, and I felt so out of sorts, so disheveled, even though things were slowing down. To go from such an incredibly fast, and let me tell you guys, it was fast, and all the things that needed to be orchestrated to get here was just incredible. Miss Laura, I didn't realize, I saw the name pop up, but I didn't connect. Thank you for that. Good morning, Miss Cassie. That excites me. So settle in that silence. Know what your body needs. And if you don't 100% know, because I'm going to tell you this, I wasn't sure what I needed. All I know is I needed something. And I just kept pulling into Papa. I just kept slowing things down. I just kept being intentional. And it was Saturday night. I couldn't sleep. I got up, came down here, and I sat here from 10:30 till 2:30. And it was just glorious. Good morning, Miss Carol. I am so excited. Everybody is joining us this morning. That's beautiful. Welcome. But I sat here in the silence in those early morning hours. And you know, some people will be frustrated because they weren't sleeping. But that alone time, that silence, it was just so nice. It was so, so nice. And we are in this glorious place. And I want to be able to be present, but I want to be me. And you know, sometimes that takes just resting in that silence and just finding yourself again. And that's exactly what I needed to do. And I know that God has the perfect place for us, and we are just seeking him in that. We are trusting that, and it's just getting out and seeing places, getting ourselves acclimated here, connecting with people, and just following his lead. So I have a couple questions for you guys, because I am taking a slow approach to re-entering this space, my practice, everything, because I know that it's going to serve me well, and I know that it's going to serve you guys well. So in the comments and for the replay, in the comments, just let me know the answers to these questions. This is a year of healing and change for me. Diana would be proud of me. Slow and steady. Very good. Very awesome. And that's it. That's what it takes sometimes. That was my season too. In my healing journey, that's why I am a recovered type A, because we need to slow things down. As much as people fight that, and I did too, I fought it, but I don't fight it anymore. Matter of fact, I protect it. And, you know, I protected it as much as I could while we were preparing and packing and moving. But now I am returning to what I know is best, that slow pace. So the question is, what do you enjoy most? What benefits you the most? My podcasts, these morning lives, my written word on blog posts or newsletters. What else am I missing? Specific videos, because I've been thinking about a couple things. Let me share this with you real quick too. What time is it? I don't know what time it is. In traveling, I have to be very specific about and well orchestrated when we travel. And that's on a vacation, that's anything. Oh, you're so sweet, Carol. Thank you very much. So I will probably do a video on the things I stock my pantry with when I'm traveling. We're in an Airbnb. The intention of being in an Airbnb is so we can make our own meals. We have our own kitchen. So I'm very intentional. Um, thank you. Thank you, Shelley. Um, and, you know, some of the things I had to think about was being able to make my sourdough because I want to make my family our bread, making our homemade marshmallows, you know, making and having the things to provide for my family's desires. So like yesterday I made no-bake cookies, chocolate oatmeal no-bake cookies. So it's like I make sure I have the things available on hand that I can make everything from scratch here. So I think, you know, it would be a really good video to help people that are trying to get a better handle on cooking from scratch, possibly. Also, recipes on all the things I do with my sourdough. Breathwork devotions. You read to us, prayers for us, brain retraining. Okay, thank you very much. I enjoy, crave the connection with all you wonderful people. You know, and that's why I do what I do and have been all this time, is because there is so much value in the connection with the right people. And I think you guys all know that. And that is something that is very important to me and that I never lose sight of, even when I'm busy, is trying to keep us all connected. Okay, cocoa quickies. That's funny. That's the no bakes. That's what Shelley calls those in Canada. They are quick and they are yummy. The other thing is my routine. The importance of how I bounced myself back in this journey as well. Movement, nature, pausing, being intentional, pulling in, slowing down. You know, like when we feel disheveled or out of touch, being connected with the right people is going to help with that, as well as having the right tools in our tool belt. And you've heard me talk about the right tools in the tool belt for a long time, and we keep adding more tools to that tool belt. And, you know, I think that that's part of what you guys are going to see from my intentional season here is, you know, more videos as I walk along the river, more words that are coming from my heart. I really feel like I'm being drawn back into my writing, whether that's in my posts or whether that's in blog posts or articles. I'm not really sure. I have a new book that will be coming out. I don't think I'm going to make my 126 of 26, but I might try still because it's really close. I'm a numbers person, so I like to play with the numbers. By the way, I have to share this. We arrived here in this Talkeetna home on day 77 of our journey, which I thought was just so amazing. 7 is my God number. 77 is it is done. Here we are. We're here. And we've been welcomed with such open arms. People here are so willing to lend a hand, to share information with you. They're excited that you're here. It's like, it's just been a really wonderful experience, and we've met some really great people. Want to give a shout out to Miss Lindsay. She has been a wealth of information and just such a sweet soul. So if you guys haven't, please join us in our community, faithbloodhealing.com/community. I think it is just so vital for people to be connected right now. The world is falling apart around us, but how many of us have been experiencing that for the last 6 years? The world is always going to feel like it's falling apart around us with all the things and crazy things that are happening. But you guys have the tools. You have the community. You have the people. You have the tools and know how to regulate your nervous system, calm your body, pull into Papa. Here's something I want you guys to think about. This is a very important takeaway. What do you think calms your nervous system more? What is the best tool to calm your nervous system? You're not going to believe what I'm going to share with you. It's pulling in. It's pulling into Papa. It's pulling into the Word. That, my friends, is what He breathed life into us in Genesis. He continues to give us courage and strength. He asks us to pull, right, Carol? Hugs are the best. And he's got to be getting so big. Austin turned 29 in December. That's so crazy. So crazy. Yeah, time goes fast, but you guys have the tools. You guys have the tools. I want to encourage you to pull in. And I want to mention a couple things on here today. I talked about this last week. This is my saving grace. He's 8 years old. Where did that go? Right? Exactly, Carol. This is my favorite all-natural ma and pa company, Topes. faithledhealing.com/TOUPS. That is my tallow. That is on my hands. It is on my lips. It is on my skin. It's very dry here, so it makes it really nice. The other thing is having EMF protection. I have a scarf. I have multiple hats. I have a blanket. You can go to Havenwear. It's faithledhealing.com/HAVN wear, WEAR. It's really important to be protected, and I'm going to share why I'm saying that. I have never felt so rattled by EMFs as I do here. We are not even 50 yards away from an AT&T cell tower right here, and it is rattling me terribly. I've got to really keep myself protected, and I try really hard to be away from here as much as possible because it's just way too much, way too close. I have a big cancer stick right outside my door. So we've been making it a point to just be driving around and checking things out anyway, and we'll only be here till the 6th of February. From there, I have no idea where we're going. That's yet to be seen. Our things officially did leave well, I think they did. They were supposed to leave yesterday. They were initially supposed to leave the 15th from Seattle, and then it got bumped to the 20th. So I haven't gotten any status reports yet. So I don't even know if all of my personal effects are on the barge and on the ocean, or if they're still sitting in Seattle. But you know what? I don't care. Traveling light is really nice, and not having all that junk is really nice. So don't worry about all that stuff. Don't worry about the pace. Don't worry about what you think is expected of you. If you feel like you need to slow things down, slow things down. If you feel rattled and disheveled, you need to slow things down. There is something very vital about that slow and intentional pace. I'm just going to lift us in prayer real quick here, and I am going to jump off so I can get in with my weekly coaching group and take this a step further. So, Papa, I just praise you for your presence. I praise you that we can come to you, and that through you and your word, we can nurture our nervous system, our vagus nerve. We can praise you and sing to you, and that vibration just nurtures our bodies. We can gather together like this with the right people and feel comforted and blessed and accepted. And Papa, I just praise you that you've brought us all together, that you've given us platforms like this, that we can gather and join, that we can renew one another, that we can lift one another, that we can pray for each other. And Papa, I praise you for what you have for each of us. I know that my family and I are on a very specific journey, but you have each of us on a journey this year. Some are healing, some are growing, some are being directed to lead, some are being directed to step back. Whatever the case is, Papa, you are in it with us, and we need to remember that of all things, and of all the things available to us in this world today, the most valuable thing we have is you. The most valuable thing we have is our time with you. The most valuable thing we have is being obedient to the calling you have for us. And I just ask that you wrap your loving arms around each and every one of us and help us to pull in. Help us to seek you over the noise. Help us to seek you over everything else. And Papa, just bless us in that time, not financially, but just in joy, in peace, in comfort, in stability, in confidence, in peculiarness, whatever that looks like. And Papa, I just praise you and thank you for hearing our prayers, for being present in our lives even when we don't feel it. I ask that you give us wisdom, knowledge, direction, discernment, awareness. And Papa, just thank you for the abundance and blessings that just come. We praise you, we thank you. I thank you for each of these beautiful people that are live with me and all those watching the replay. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for what you have for us. We love you and we ask all this in your holy and precious name of Jesus. Amen. Guys, I love you all. I'm thankful for each of you. You are just as much a valid part of my life. You have no idea the comfort I get in knowing that I have the connections I have and the prayer warriors that I have. We thank you so much for carrying us as we were preparing to move. You are so sweet, Miss Carol, and I'll make sure that whatever place we have has a bungalow for you. We found one with a bathhouse. You can take that one over again. We'll see where Papa takes us, but we'll continue to take you on that journey, and stay tuned for more from us. We will be gathering and sharing more. We love you all. Have a have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless.